Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Emily, and if this is your first time, thank you for clicking on my link. And to my returning subscribers, I really appreciate you guys. So if you clicked on my link, then you were probably on YouTube searching about residential assisted living business or assisted living business or how to start a residential assisted living business. Again, you are in the right channel, guys. If this is your first time, go down to my playlist that says CEO Journey. There you're gonna see my documentation of videos from the beginning to the licensing of my assisted living. Then you can take notes from the startup process, how to get information, submit your application, inspection, prepping, care planning, and hiring staff, and all of that. It's all clearly documented in the videos. And my goal, since when I was starting, I looked on YouTube, internet, everything. There wasn't enough information out there on YouTube, and the ones that were on YouTube was like a few 5 lines, and then you had to pay to get something else. It was always read these, then pay to get this, watch this for 5 seconds and pay to get this, and it was a lot of money. So I figured out my goal was, after I get licensed, I'm going to come back and share on YouTube, since I couldn't find anything, what I went through to get my license. So hopefully you guys can fix some of the mistakes I did and then get some of the knowledge I gathered across through the opening process, so that will help you get your own facility up and running with spending the least amount of money as possible. Okay. So this video today, I'm talking about some of the key things you need to do in order to fill your facility. Okay. Once you've licensed, it's a tough thing. Now the next step is to fill up your beds, and the quicker you fill them up, the sooner you're going to be able to start getting your money back from all the expenses you just went through. So the first thing I would say is having a social media presence. So if you do need to do a Facebook about your facility and a website about your facility, then you can constantly post pictures about your facility, especially when you do activities. Post pictures of activities. If you do outings, post pictures of outings and little videos with the consent of family members and residents. Okay, you don't want them to suddenly see grandma on Facebook and they had no clue that you were going to post grandma on Facebook doing her little wiggle. So I would say, before you post any picture about any of your residents, make sure you get consent that is signed by the power of attorney or by the resident themselves or the family member, that it is okay to post mom or dad or uncle or grandpa or grandma on your Facebook page or website. So, but if you can get that, great, because that way other family can see that this is a nice facility. They have a lot of engaging activities going on. They have the residents look happy. They look like they're having fun. Maybe this is somewhere I would love to take my loved one to. And then they can reach out to you or call you or do a tour, and hopefully they will love your facility. So that is one way you can do to get residents to come, is by social media. So the other way that I used when I had my facility was to use placement agencies. They were my success. They were the success. I'm say the successful point on getting residents. Okay, but I didn't just use one. So what I did was I Googled placement agencies in blah blah blah, and I put in my county. Okay, and a bunch of names came up. A bunch of because there are a lot of placement agencies. So I called each one of them and I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Emily. I own this assisted living. We recently opened in this location. We are licensed for 4-bed facilities. We have 2 private beds and 2 semi-private beds. This is our price ranges. We are looking forward to filling up my beds. Do you have any residents that you think might fit our pay scale, or I need any of our that might fit into our facility? Please let us know. We are very open to negotiating. Never tell them that your price is fixed. Always having for negotiating. That way, if a really nice or great potential residents come in, you can give them a discount and bring them in. Okay, you don't want to hold off on your fixed rate and lose a resident. Meanwhile, you could bring them in at a discount. At least you're getting something in. Okay, so usually they will send you a contract, you will fill that out, blah blah blah, what is your fee, blah 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 blah. So you sign everything up, you send it back to them, and each time a resident or family member call them looking for a facility, then we then call you and say, hey, I have this potential resident, do you think you can take them? If it's a yes, then they'll set up a tour, they'll come in, go over questions and answers. So definitely I would say sign up with as many placement agencies as possible, and that way a lot of people have your card and know about you, because you don't know from which angle you're going to get your residents from. Okay, so make sure you sign up with as many as possible. That way you open up your possibilities. Okay, don't be confined with one. So that's another thing. Other thing is providing exceptional care to your residents, because if you have, say you've had your first resident and you give an amazing care, the family members love it, the resident herself love it. Now they're gaining weight, that they've been so malnourished, they've been so underweight. Now they're eating better, they're getting more weight, you know. So the family members will be impressed. So they will tell everyone about, you know, where their mom or dad is located, how they're doing better. And then their friends and other family members, when they have a loved one that is looking into going to an assisted living, they would think about your place, because they've heard so many good things from that friend whose mom or dad is currently there. So they have a live review or a very close review from someone they know, not just something they've seen on the internet. They've seen someone's or somebody they know that is doing good at that facility. So it'll be easy for them to likely move their loved one to your place, since they have that connection already. They already feel comfortable based on what their friend is telling them about their own loved one. So definitely, if you're providing great care, the word is going to get around, and you know, you're going to get calls coming in to hopefully, you know, move into your facility. So the other thing you can do is targeted advertising. So you can narrow down your advertising to your population. So because sometimes you might go to senior centers, you can go to daycare, adult daycare facilities, okay? Because daycare usually either they're coming from other bigger facilities to the daycare, or they're coming from home. When granddaughter or grandkids are going to work, they drop off grandmom and grandpa daycare. While at daycare, they go to work. On their way back from work, they pick up. So if you drop your paperwork or your cards or stuff over at the daycare, when family members come, they might, if they were thinking about placing their grandparents in a facility and they saw your card, they might look into it. They might go on social media and find you on your website. They might even call you to just take a tour and see, you know, if that's something. Whenever they're ready, they'll be good to go. So senior building, daycare, adult daycare centers, public library, other bigger assisted living, because sometimes initially residents go into this bigger assisted living that are more expensive. So maybe they were paying $6,000 a month, and after a few years their money start running dry and they need to downsize. Now they're looking into your facility, which is a 4-bed, 5, maybe a 10-bed, that maybe you're charging $3,000 a month, or maybe $2,500 a month. So that's way cheaper for them, because they will end up saving. They're going from $6,000 a month to $3,000 a month. So that is a saving for them, that they can live more independently for a longer period of time, instead of running dry and maybe going to a nursing home, you know, which they don't want to do. So definitely look into the bigger facility, because I did call, though I didn't get any resident from the bigger ones, but it doesn't mean that when you do, you will not. So I Google assisted living around my assisted living, and I look for the 100-bed facility, the 200-bed facility, the 50-bed facilities. So I call them, I ask for the social worker, I introduce myself, I say, hey, I just opened a 4-bed facility in the area. If you have any residents that are looking into downsizing from your facility, feel free to call me, let me know, we can talk about it to see if they're a good fit for my facility. You know, that's all you need to do. They'll either call you or they don't call you, but at least you try, you put in the effort to let them know you were there. And the other thing that you want to do is maybe highlight what makes your facility different from other facilities, because when you Google, you will see that there are other facilities around your facility or wherever you're located. Okay, so you want to highlight what makes yours better. Okay, for me, whenever I did the tour, I always made it a point that they see the video cameras in my facility. So it was very comforting for them to know that even if I'm not there all day, because I was a delegated nurse, I went there once a week, or if there's, you know, changing condition, or, you know, somebody needed a nurse, I would go there. But it was comforting for them to know that at any time of the day, if they called the facility to speak to their loved one, and maybe the caregiver was busy, couldn't pick up the phone, or maybe they called their loved one's cell phone, they didn't pick up, and they call me and say, hey, I'm trying to reach blah 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 at the facility, they're not picking up, do you know what's going on? I could go log in on my phone and I can see if they are sitting in the common area, if they're in the living room, dining room, hallway, kitchen, I can see them and say, hey, I see her on the chair or whatever, or I see her walk in the hallway to take another resident to the bathroom. I will let her know when she's finished to call you back, or something like that. So I'm able to quickly see what's going on at the facility and then get back to them right away with a follow-up call, so they know everything is okay, they're comfortable, somebody's watching. So that was a comfort for them. The other thing that I always made a point to tell them that though I'm a delegated nurse, I'm also a board certified nurse practitioner. I didn't provide provider services at my facility, but I could easily assess if there was a change in condition. I could, you know, when I call them to talk about the change, I could talk to them from different perspectives that they could understand better. So I could give them the right recommendation. I could say, I think this is the time you should call your doctor or mom's doctor and talk about this, this, and this. I could give them, I was like a second opinion to them. So if there was something that they were worried about, they were concerned, they weren't sure if to talk to the patient's PCP about, I could then, so yeah, you should, I would, second opinion, you can take this into writing, but if you're asking my second opinion, I will give it to you as a provider, though that is not my role in this facility with you. Just like you would ask a friend that was a provider, you know, what do you think about it? So I would say, hey, yeah, maybe when you call and talk to your mom's or dad's PCP, ask them about this, this, and this, and or suggest this, you know. So they were very receptive of that, and they loved that. So that was one thing I made sure I talked to them about it, so they felt a little bit more comfortable that it wasn't just somebody there, but they knew that there was a provider there or nurse practitioner there that they can also get second opinion about, you know, things that were happening with their loved ones. So I always made sure they knew about that, and the fact that my experience working in nursing home, in a hospital, and things like that. So I definitely made them comfortable. Another thing that you can do is to bring residents is to offer incentives. Okay, so like if you have one resident and you tell the family member that if they refer, you know, somebody else to move in, then you give them a discount on their mom's next rent be, you know, something like that, or next rent or next month's cost. You could give them, you know, $500 discount, you know, whatever it was that you agree with. So, you know, obviously if they don't like your facility, they're not going to refer anyone to your facility. That's just the bottom line. But if they already love the care they're providing, and you give them that incentive that, hey, if you know a friend or another family member that is looking for a facility for their loved one, definitely put in a word for our facility. If they do move in, I will give your mom discount on her next month's cost. That's a saving for them, and it's not like the giving wrong information. They love where their mom or dad is. They just spreading the word on your behalf that this is a good place. Come here. My mom is already here. My dad is already here. You will love it. And if they do come, then I'll give them a discount. So you can offer incentives like that to help, you know, bring more residents to your facility. But yeah, I think those are some of the tips that you can use. Hopefully I didn't drag this too long, but if this video was helpful to you, if you learned anything on this video, I would appreciate it if you can do a thumbs up and subscribe. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and also don't forget to check out my ebook on the 10 secrets to buying the ultimate assisted living home. I'm going to put the link in the comments and also in the description box. It's only $9.99, and that is one way you guys can show me love and support for all these videos I make for you guys, by purchasing my ebook. And when you do, please drop me a review. I will appreciate any feedback. Again, this is Emily, and I'll see you guys on my next video.